Joining me right now is resurging UFC lightweight Nik Lentz. What's going on, Lik?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. 2009, you made your UFC debut. You've had 21 fights. You fought during the Zuffa era, and now you're currently fighting or competing in the WME era. What glaring differences do you see when you compare these two periods in UFC history?
Just the vibe of the thing is different. Like when I first got into the UFC, there was a lot of like I got picked up at the airport by the same people. Like we were chauffeured around. Like we had Bert. Like there was a lot of things that it was a little bit more family like. And as we've transitioned and got bigger, now you get picked up by like a random car service, or when you get there, like everything isn't as you don't know everybody. There's always new people or there's new stuff going on. And even though there's people that have stuck around, there's been a lot of rotation in the system. So like when WME first took over, like all my contacts and the people I dealt with at the UFC, like if I had a question, like they're all gone. Like they got rid of the emails that I used to go through, and so that was like a transition thing. And I don't know a lot of the new people and stuff like that. But overall, the change has. Some of it has been very good, and some of it hasn't been so good. It's mixed reviews on it.
Definitely, must have been a kind of an awkward transitional period for you, especially someone that has been in the game for so long.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Every business you're ever going to be in, if you're in there for 10 years, is going to change. And you want it to change, right? Because you want it to get more popular. You want it to get bought out. But there was definitely a shift. Like before, it was kind of like a chaotic run, but family-like atmosphere. And then now it's transitioned to a little more like well-oiled, but it's a little more distant kind of relationship. So it's a little bit different.
All right, your last fight was against Graham Maynard at UFC 229 in Las Vegas. You showed another side of your arsenal by finishing with a head kick. Yeah. After the fight, you said something clicked in you before that fight. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I can and I can't. Like when I say something clicked, like I feel like I want to be like overstated, but something like divinely inspired happened to me. Like it's like I had all these equations in my head that like kind of made sense, but then everything just clicked and like evened out. Like I had my second kid, like my family life clicked. Like I don't talk about like other businesses and stuff I do, but that clicked. And then my fighting clicked, and it just seemed like everything was kind of separate, and it just kind of like all transitioned into one, and everything just like lined up perfectly, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. Everything just got evened out, and then that was the change, because all the pressure of fighting, all the pressure of finances, all the pressure of time, all the pressure of wanting to be farther ahead in my career than I was, all that evaporated in a second, and all of a sudden I had become like at peace, and I felt good, and my athletic performance shot through the roof once that happened.
That same night, Conor and Khabib had their brawl after the main event. Were you still in the arena while that was going on?
No, I actually left right away. I was like, screw it, I'm out of here. I was because there wasn't like enough tickets for them to give like a ticket because the tickets were so expensive, and they wanted to make sure to make it every dime they possibly could. So like I would have just had to sit in the back in the locker room and watch the fights, and I was just like, nah, I'm getting out of here. So I was actually out at the hotel across the street when that happened, and I was like, and I wasn't watching or caring. I was talking to my family on the phone and chilling. I went and got some food with my dad, but I saw it on TV. I was like, Jesus, thank God I wasn't there, or like in the front. I couldn't imagine. I mean, it didn't turn out that bad, but it could have. It could have turned out very bad, right? I mean, get stampeded or attacked by a bunch of people you don't even know. That would be awful.
Yeah, it seemed like Dylan Dennis, who is not a UFC fighter, initiated that whole situation. Would you have reacted the same way if a guy was yelling offensive remarks at you, after the fight?
No, in fact, I it seems weird, like to even be able to hear him You know, like it's not like when you're in the cage, it's not conveniently easy to see outside of it because there's lots of lights and stuff. So like, I mean, you can see there's a crowd, but you can't see in detail the people out there. And like, you certainly can't hear them. I mean, it's pretty loud. I mean, there's 20, 30,000 people or however many were in that stadium. So like, to be able to like pick him out and then be like, I'm going to kick your ass for for saying bad things. Like, it seems a little crazy. And it seems like maybe he wanted to beat him up before that. And he just found an excuse to go take a shot at him. And obviously when you win a fight, you're emotional and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone saw him like freaking eagling it off the edge to after him. But
yeah, definitely.
He must have been shit talking him pretty well because he was very angry.
Yeah, or he just had a very distinctive voice that you could pick out in the crowd.
Yeah, out of nowhere, just that super annoying guy, like yelling me or whatever, being a goofball. Like I have no idea what it did, but I can't imagine what someone could say to me to make me that angry, especially after winning, because you just smashed the guy. So like, I mean, I'm not Khabib, but when I win a fight, like there's like a moment of like just sheer relief because you put so much time and effort and work into it. You're just like, yes, like that's over. I did it. Like that's awesome. Like the last thing I want to do is go fight somebody else. I'm like, thank God that's over. Like we did it. We got paid. We're good. Like I don't want to go pick a different fight. And I mean, and obviously, I mean, he lost $500,000 for it. So add that on top of it. That's yeah. I mean, imagine that. Like nothing is worth that. Even if you care, even if you're rich, I mean, just evaporating $500,000 and lighting it on fire for no reason. That's not the best feeling, I'm sure.
The NSAC, they said that they wanted to suspend or fine athletes for pre-fight trash talk. What do you think of this idea? I guess, like, do I think it's a good idea? No. I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. When I dislike the trash talking and the lead up to these fights because I know a lot of it is fake, and I'm an adult, and like so I don't need to watch fake things. I have Netflix, you know, like I don't need to watch a fake beef, right? I can go to the movie theater and watch that. Like so I find the entire idea of the fake selling of the fight to be ridiculous and unwatchable. So I watch fights when they come on, but if like the trash talking thing goes on, I leave. And a lot of times I avoid the fight just because I don't find that entertaining at all. You know, like I found that entertaining when I was a kid and watched wrestling, but now I don't. So like if that were to go away and then we had like, because sometimes there are real beefs. Sometimes there are people that hate each other. Like Khabib and Conor don't like each other. Like that's real. Like so, like I don't mind that one. But you know, there's a lot of people out there that just constantly are just saying things just to say them to like create fake drama that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? And I find that to be not only not entertaining, I find it to be childish and stupid. So I'm indifferent on this idea of like, obviously you can't regulate that. Like that's never going to happen. Like no, there's a lot of money involved in fighting. So any idea that would take money away from fighting will never be passed. So you don't have to worry about that. But like, yeah, I like as much as I would prefer that to happen to where like people have beef, it was real and not this manufactured garbage that everyone wants to spit out. Then yeah, that would be my opinion on it. All right. Well, your upcoming fight, February 17th in Phoenix versus Scott Holtzman. He has said a few things leading up to this fight, it seems like. You know, speaking of manufactured beef, because it seems like you don't have no animosity towards him. How'd you react when you heard some of the things he's been saying?
I haven't heard anything he said. The only thing I ever hear is from people that interview me and then say something like he said. Like, I haven't heard anything he has to say. Like, I don't care. like literally nothing he has said has made its way to me, which should show him something, that he's not popular enough for it to make its way to my fucking ears. So like I don't know what to tell him. You know, I mean, I don't know. You tell me what he said.
Well, you know, like people try to throw out certain terminology to describe people, and you know, they think like it's, you know, they feel that it is a fact. You know, that's what I think. That's the type of trash talk that people are talking about. You know, like saying like that. You know, this guy is a gatekeeper. Or this guy has a soft chin. You know, like I'm not saying that exactly. He's saying that about you, but that's the type of stuff that people I think are trying to focus on to, you know, as trash talk.
Yeah, no, I heard the gatekeeper thing before, and like he will learn. You know, I mean, the idea that like, I mean, I was ranked number 6 in the world at 45. I mean, gatekeepers don't get to number 6 in the world. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But if he wants to think that gives me like that makes me happy, because he's underestimating me. He's underestimating the talent I possess. And to be quite honest with you, Gray said the same thing. Mm-hmm. Right? He said the same stuff. Like, he's never dealt with my level. He's good, but he's more of like a grinder and a gatekeeper, and he's never going to do it. Like, well, look what happened to him, right? I said the same thing, and the same thing is going to happen to this guy, right? And in fact, if you ever look at anyone who's fought me, even the ones who beat me, they have never said, "Wow, that guy sucks." They've only talked very highly of me, you know, like a Chad Mendez or something like I mean, they've never said a bad word about me after the fight. They may say, "Hey, I don't like that guy, but he can sure fight." You know, like the idea that he can't fight is ridiculous. So no, number one, I haven't heard it because it's not popular enough to get it. Number two, if he was really that brave, he would be tagging me in this stuff, but he's not. So and number three, like and not even to be rude, like when they offered me Scott Holtzman, I had to go straight to Google. Mm-hmm. When they offered Scott Holtzman Nik Lentz, he knew who I was. So there's a difference here. You know, there's a very big difference. And I'm gonna show him just how much of a difference there is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you looked him up. You probably looked at his record. Where do you rank him in the division?
I mean, he's like a top 15 guy. Like, there's no doubt the guy can fight. There's no doubt that he's tough. There's no doubt that he's a very good win on my record. But you can see, just like you said, you can see from the way he's talking that he's not experienced in this game. And I'll give you a perfect example is, if you're going to fight somebody, right, you can say all kinds of bad things about them, right? But let's say I go out there and I say, "Hey, Scott Holtzman can't fight. The dude is garbage. Like, he shouldn't even be in the UFC." And then I go out there and kick his ass. What have I done? Nothing. Everyone's going to say, "Well, yeah, he was a piece of crap. Like, way to go. You beat nobody." If anything, if you're going to fight someone that's no good, you should build them up. Be like, "Holy crap, man, this guy is fast. He's going to be good. It's going to be the hardest fight of my life." And then when you go perform well, therefore, you make a presence, right? So not only does he not know how to sell a fight, he is also trying to manufacture drama where there is none to get motivation for the fight. And he's trying to talk himself up into a jumping competition and give himself a reason to be there. And so all these things are negatives on him, and it just shows that he's very inexperienced, and why I call him a kid in the game. Let's
get into your training camp. How has your training camp been? Has it been extended, or has it been like a normal camp for you?
No, very normal. Very normal. Everything has gone just exactly the way it's supposed to. So, you know, very regimented, I have the best coaches. I have Henry Huff, Kami. You know, I train with world champions. I train with all the best. So yeah, you know, I mean, as far as gyms, as far as training schedules go, I mean, mine are 10, 15 times higher than his. So, no, I feel very good about it. You know, I'm very happy. My weight's good. I mean, I'm living the good life, so I'm happy.
Now, is there anything you've been zeroing on during your training camp, or is it, like you said, it's just been normal?
Well, no, of course. I mean, I dissect everyone I'm going to fight. We train for one person. We don't train to get better in general. That's before the fight is scheduled. You train to get better at everything. But once you have a fight, it's all dedicated to him, and we have him picked apart every which way. So.
You're 4-2 since moving back up to lightweight. What are your goals moving forward in this stacked division?
Well, I mean, I've explained this before, but like before I was at the 55, like, and I did the 45 thing, I had gone on like massive winning streaks. I beat lots of good guys, and it didn't get me to where I wanted to go, right? So like I tried to like, it's like, oh, if I'm number 10, I'll fight number 9, and if I'm number 9, I'll fight number 7, and like I tried to make it that way, right? And then like when I got to where it was time to like start having big fights, they were just denied to me, and people like they don't know this, but like let's say someone doesn't want to give you a title fight. Like the UFC can find somebody in the world that's going to be a hard fight for you, right? They can find people that are going to be hard fights for you, and you won't get what you want. So as I've come up to 55, I've played the game a lot better, and all I'm looking to do is put impressive wins, impressive stoppages, and then when they give me that mic, say impressive things, and go from there. And be a transform, you know, like you said, I'm a resurging person. Except this time I actually know how the damn game is played. It's not played the way I want it to be played, so I'm playing it the way you have to play it.
Adaptability, man. That's it. That's what it's about nowadays.
That's what carnies are for. We adapt to anything.
Thank you for your time, Nick, and good luck to you, man.
Thank you, guys. God bless.